Hey guys, today we tie a little articulated fly, still not too big, for some polder fishing tomorrow. Hopefully the pikes like it. We do tie a little bit of a jigging fly because I like to get really quickly down a meter or 1.5 meters in the polders, because when you cast under the bridge you want to be fishing right on the spot where you're casting to, so you need a fly which is going down quickly. So we just take 2 feathers, chicken feathers, just dyed the color you prefer. I choose red. Just remove the one on the bottom bit and then tie them in, so they have to point apart from each other, just to give the tail a little bit more movement. And we just tie them down like that. Just gentle turns to keep them in place. Get them in position with your fingers and then tie them down. Just do the trick. Cut the stems. And grab a little bit of bucktail, white bucktail. I like to fish lighter colors in the polders. Just a matter of taste. Already catch them black streamers as well. It really is just, I think, a thing of the fisherman which color the fly should have. So we just tie it in the usual way. 2 loose wraps, move it about the hook a bit, then pull it tight so the fibers rise up a bit. And spread it a bit. Just move the stems a bit, tie them down, further in our way. And then we take some feathers. Sorry guys, but my battery just died. So let's continue. We start now, or we take some feathers now. So this are here some Metz Feathers from a grade 3 quality, nothing really good. Usually used for dry flies, but for that they are too bad. But for streamers they are exactly the nicest thing you want to have. And take 2 shorter ones and just tie them in a bit like that. Align the second one, tie it in on the other side. Tie it down. Finished. Now we take some of these chocolate filler flesh, I think it's called, just to fill up the volume of the fly a bit, and then we can rub quite easily to the front of the hook, because we don't want to put too much material on the fly. I want it to have a light fly, because I'm casting this still with a 6 weight, and therefore I just prefer it a bit light. So I'll tie it down. Cut it off. Tie a little bit on top of it, just to secure it. So remember, we are fishing pike streamers here, and if the pike tee is hitting the fly just in the wrong angle on the wrong spot, and you don't secure your material with a few wraps, you often get your fly destroyed within seconds. Therefore also good to finish the end wraps with some super glue as well. So this time we tie in some bucktail again for the end, tie it in reverse, 2 loose wraps, spread it around the hook, pull it down, raise the fibers up, distribute them evenly around the hook still. Well, that looks good. Right. Few strong wraps, tie it down. Again, I don't have a pen tool here, but we can use this little cone. I tie in later, maybe that works. No, it's not going over there. Yeah, I just do it with the fingers, no worries. So, squeeze the back bit, hold it in position, pull the thread out. And as always, lay a cone in front of it to let the bucktail stand up in this desired angle of around 45 degrees. Now we use a little bit of super glue. And because we want to fish this fly in the polders, we put some flesh on it as well. Because polders are really brown and milky, and you really want to have a shiny fly in there. So we use some of this flesh. I don't know which brand it is. It is a little bit kinky, so it looks a little bit like rippled, but yeah, it has a lot of light reflection, and therefore usually I use it for my sea bass streamers, but in this case it looks really nice for pike streamers as well. As soon as I find out which material it was, I can put it in the description, but I really have to find it because mine is getting empty as well. So yeah, just tie it in 70-30, lay it back, tie it down again. Make a knot at the end. Cut it out. Use some glue, secure the wrapping. So I just hold this a bit of the way. We take one of these 25, I think, 25, 35. Oh yeah, 25 millimeter shanks. Just pull it in. Secure it. To put the hook right in here, so it's not dangling around. Now we start with some flat wraps again to close the shank before we start tying. Start here at the end, just a few wraps, one in the hole, and then we close the shank and fill the gap between the 2 loose ends, so we don't get any weird shapes in our streamer later on. So when that is done, we come all the way to the end. We'll take a little bit of bucktail again, just white bucktail. Not too much, just to get our body in again. Tie it in reverse as well. Mainly on the top, we don't need it on the bottom right now. Spread it a little bit over the top half, and then we can fold it back. It's a little bit tricky with the shanks, because you don't have that much space to fold the bucktail back. So you have to estimate the right position for it. Of course you can take the fly out of the vise as well and check how it's lying. But from experience I know that this is the position I want, but yeah, just take it out, check the position of your bucktail, and then you'll be fine. So now we want to have a little bit of flesh in it, as I said, polar flies. Make a little dubbing loop. Tongue twister here. And we take some red Flashabou, red holographic. Just a few strands. Don't want too much flesh in it. Take a few strands of the long one which you tied in before. It's nearly double the length of the Flashabou, but we don't cut it, we leave it in this length. And we take some silver non-holographic Flashabou. I mean, obviously you can vary the colors as you want to, but these colors do work quite nice with each other, and therefore I just stick to them. A little bit Christmas colors. That's a Christmas fly. So just take it in the hand, spin it a little bit between the fingers to mix the colors, and then take your dubbing loop. If it opens up again, here we go. And yeah, you can put some wax in it, but with this little amount of flesh, I don't think it's necessary. If you pull it up a little bit like that, it will close it, and it's lying perfectly in it, and then we can distribute it quite closely to the hook, so we don't have to make too many empty wraps. Move the bobbin to the front, out of the way, and then we spin our dubbing twister. Make sure you don't twist it into the flesh, and we spin it. And we do that several times, and when you spin it, it's closing from the far end to the hook. So when these fibers are still moving, you have to spin it a little bit more till they are stuck in it as well. Like that maybe. Yeah, now they're stuck. That's good. So we need a little brush. Let me check where I put it. Here, and brush out the material a bit, so we get all the long fibers. Don't put too much force in it, because when the fibers are stuck and you're putting a lot of force in it, they just get curly. You don't want that. Just take your time doing it, like that. And now you want to get the fibers all pointing in one direction, so you don't trap them with each other, and then wrap them around the hook. But even if you trap them, we can just brush them out again. So we're doing loose wraps, and we secure it later a bit with a thread. If you get the feeling that they are always falling back into the wrong position, you can also wet them a little bit, and then they usually stay a little bit more backwards orientated. But we just brush them out later, and that will do the trick, so no worries in that. So when we get to the end, catch the thread of the bobbin holder, and then you can cut it right away, because if we leave it loose, it will dangle backwards, and if it dangles backwards, it can catch all the flesh which is still pointing around here. So now we brush it out again after we trapped a few of the fibers in the wraps around the hook shank. Well, it's pretty loose, really tight around the hook, but that's done on purpose, because what we do now is we secure all the flesh fibers a second time by winding the thread backwards on the hook shank to the point where we started. Like that. Because then we can put another bucktail for the head section in it, and then we put our weight in for the jigging effect, and some monster as head material, and then the fly is already finished. So take some white bucktail again. So we have to watch out that this doesn't happen, so it's not tangling into the thread. You can just pull the thread out of the bobbin a bit so it's standing on the bottom, it's not twisting. So get the white bucktail, spin it counterclockwise a bit so it's falling back to the fingers, the thread. See that? And then I have to spin it a little bit more so it's falling back to the fingers, and then we can make another loose wrap, pull it around the hook, pull it tight, rise the fibers up, and fold them backwards. So we still have a little bit of space, but we also still want to put the cone in front of it for weight. And we put a little bit of super glue on the thread because we need to build up a little bit bigger cone here to secure our cone head. Make a knot into the glue, cut the thread, and we take one of these cone heads. You can get them cheap at Bigstreamers, I think messing ones, 10 pieces for around €4. So now we start the thread again. Start the thread again onto the other thread, move the cone in position where we want it, and then we build up just a proper cone in front of it so it can't slide back. Like that. Take a little bit more super glue. You really want to have this one secured, so there was not as much as it seemed to be, it's just my bottle is quite empty. So like that. Now super glues in. And we go for the monster dobbing head now. For that we take the red for the top, white for the belly, and the pink for the sides for the cheeks. Start with the top, can take a fair amount. It does hold the air quite good in the water, but now we have a cone in front of it. It doesn't matter if we can build a really bulky hat. It doesn't really matter to the weight of the fly. As I said before, I will cast this fly on a 6 weight tomorrow. Secure it with a few wraps. A little bit more. I want to have 2 more feathers in it as well. Can tie them in before we tie the cheeks in. One here on this side. And one on the other side, like that. Tying the belly section. It takes just some plain white for that. That's the pearl white. So it was bloody red on the head section on the top, and now it's pearl white on the belly. And then we take some of the pink. And put it on the cheeks. It will blend up quite nicely when we brush it out. Same on the other side. Just take a bit. Tie it in. Some strong wraps. Shank is still weathable. That's good. Always a problem. If you tie it too close to the shank, you will lose your kind of hook eye. In this case, shank eye, because they are not as big as the original ones from the hook. So you better stop early before your whole shank is covered and you can't connect your fly anymore to the leader. So, cut it off after I put some glue on the thread, and then you can just brush it back. And then we take some ice. I like some orange ice with it. And I tied already a second one so I can show you the finished result in a second as well. So yeah, I use the E6000, which works nice with the dubbing heads. One eye. Two eyes. It's a little bit more tricky than usual because of the cone head, but yeah, let me set that apart for drying now. And then I'll show you the finished fly, how it looks like. So it's the finished fly. See, it's a nice articulated one. Will have a lot of movement, a lot of flash material in it. Really easy to tie. We'll have some jigging action because of the cone head. Yeah, and this will definitely catch some pikes tomorrow.